Hey, Browns fans, Bears fans, and Burnouts. This is your main man, J-Rex, here with my main man, Be Weird. What's going on, brother? How you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good, man. This medical card that I got, I've been enjoying it quite a bit.
Oh, I'm sure it's like a kid in a candy shop.
Dude, it really is. You go in there and it just smells like heaven. It's amazing.
Right,
Um,
yeah.
we got a jam-packed show though. We got back to football. Free agency started today. Got a
Right.
couple of big moves happen. We got a couple of TV shows we're going to talk about, or I guess a movie and a TV show. One
Right,
DC,
right.
one
It's
Marvel.
streaming, though. It's streaming,
Yeah.
though, so I don't know, like, what you want to call that.
Right, yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier and the DC Snyder cut.
Yeah,
Um,
it's all streaming,
yeah,
though.
got our album playoffs. We're gonna talk March Madness. Doing something different this week for concerts. We got a couple bonus strains. We got a jam packed show. We got cousin Peen with us. How we doing, cuz?
What's
What's
happening,
going on,
everyone?
assistant to the regional manager?
What's happening? Happy to
Assistant
be
to
the
the regional
assistant to the
manager.
assistant regional manager, baby. We're back. March Madness, happiest time of the year. Here we go.
It
No,
really
man, you
is.
don't
I'm
got to
looking
put
forward
yourself
to
down
it.
that much, though.
Right?
You don't have to be
He lowered
assistant to
himself.
yeah, I know. You don't have to be assistant to the assistant regional manager. You're assistant to the regional manager. That's it.
Stoner moment.
Oh shit! Look at
All
him
right, all right.
calling out his first stoner moment. Love it.
I'm just exhausted, man. I'm just exhausted, honestly.
That's all right. Well, let's dive into the Browns.
Right.
All right, so go ahead, Jay.
All right. So they signed John Johnson the third for an absolutely incredible contract. I don't know how they got him to do this. Apparently, I think he's like $5 million per year or something with his cap space. The way it all worked out is something ridiculous. But they signed him for $33 million for $24 million guaranteed. He's the number 3 ranked safety on Pro Football Focus. Like, think about that.
That's a huge signing for the Browns.
Huge.
That allows Joe Woods to play the defense that he wants to play. Obviously, we still need to address the corner with Greedy most likely out or very
Dude's only played one
injury
season,
prone.
man.
Yeah.
And he's only played one season. Like, can't tell me that he's going to be like fresh and like ready to go.
Can't depend on him. That's for sure at this point.
No. I think you bring back Money Mitchell, though. I think your secondary is strong enough where Money Mitchell could come in at a decent contract and like you get away with him still.
I'm still really hoping for Patrick Peterson or another big corner like that because that
You know
will
what, though? They don't have any
really
money
shore
left.
up that defense.
Maybe they'll draft someone.
They can still restructure contracts and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the Chiefs are doing. That's what the Bears are trying to do. There's a lot of teams
How did the Chiefs get away with that? It was like highway robbery picking him up.
They managed it. We'll get into that later, though.
Yeah, later on. But you know what? I mean, okay, so the Browns still need a defensive end. Let's be frank. They do. Right?
Absolutely.
Am I wrong?
No, absolutely.
No, they do. And I think that there's still some pretty good people out there, like Trey Hendrickson and other players. They didn't get Shaq Barrett. They didn't get Levante David. You know, they stayed with the Bucks.
Can't knock them.
But there's still Carl Lawson's still out there too, man. I mean, Carl Lawson's a good player.
Yeah.
So you need to go get
There's a lot of good players out there still. I mean, we're only in day one.
I want to see Nick Chubb and Baker Mayfield get re-signed, though. I'm like tired of waiting for it. It's like making me nervous.
Honestly, I think that they could both restructure their contracts this year,
right?
This offseason, and that could potentially save us money.
Well, you could re-sign them for deals later on. Like, you don't have to pay them right now. It's not against the cap. They're locked in this year at the price that they're in at. That's what I'm saying.
Can they restructure those deals, though?
There's, like, no money. They're on rookie contracts.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's true.
You'd have to, who you have to restructure? Like, Jarvis Landry and, like, Sheldon Richardson and people like that.
Yeah, but I see that's the thing, too. I think that players like that would be willing to restructure in order to win.
Well, they're still getting paid okay, so the cap is like pretty much bullshit, I guess, the way they restructure people's deals and stuff, because they're like dumping everything into signing bonuses and shit like that. So like Tom Brady's whole salary got put into a signing bonus, so they could re-sign Shaq Barrett, Levante David, and Chris Godwin all at once. Like it's it's crazy.
Exactly.
I mean,
Like we said last week, there's loopholes around all this shit
oh yeah,
that
for
all
sure.
these teams that don't have money, they can find ways to make money. It's what happens every year. And
Yeah,
I know you say that the Browns don't have room for another big addition.
they do.
I think they'll make it happen.
Yeah, they need a corner and they need a defensive end at this point.
I think that one of those comes from the draft and one of those comes from free agency still, and I think that they'll find a way to make that
Well, you
happen in the
also need a
next day or two.
linebacker too, though.
But they're only going to be playing two linebackers in Joe
So what
Woods'
do you do?
defense.
Taki and Mac Wilson, pretty much,
Yeah, I mean you could
or
still draft. You could still draft one or
Joseph Phillips.
find
Yeah,
one in free agency too. But I mean,
yeah.
upgrade where you can for the best price, the best deal.
I will say this: the person who benefited the least from the Browns shining, excuse me, wow, signing
The Shining.
John Johnson for us, JJ for us is the person who benefited the least is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
benefited the least
100%.
from this. He's fucked now. He's real fucked.
100%.
Because he cannot run all over us again. There's gonna be three safeties on the field. He's gonna be they're gonna eat his lunch. They're gonna put Ronnie Harrison on him and they're gonna say he steps out of that pocket, you hit the shit out of him.
Well,
And
they
that's what they're
signed
gonna do.
what's his name on the offensive line today?
Ziegler.
Yeah, Zeitler.
Zeitler. Yeah, Zeitler.
So I do think we still need to improve our rush, but I do think it will happen.
I listen. They still lost another Orlando Pace. I don't care if they got. They're still weak at the tackle position. Guards can only do so much.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree with you there. I think the Browns will find ways to make what needs to happen this offseason because they know that their window is now.
Yeah,
I think
that's
like I was telling you and Skip the other day.
mm-hmm.
I think that this could be the Browns' first window, kind of like how the Patriots had their dynasty. I think that right now is the first part of their window, potentially.
Right. Yeah,
for
sure.
They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think so. And I think signing a JJ, really shows us they agree. I think they know that this is their window. Why would you go out and literally pay money for the best safety? He took less money. Did you know that?
Yeah.
They offered him more money other places, and he said, "Nah, I'm going to go sign with the Browns for less."
There's a reason.
Can I say that out loud? Can I say that out loud? Somebody signed with the Browns for less money than other people had offered them.
Potentially the best safety on the board at that.
Right. Signed for less money to play with the Browns.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's it. All right. So let's move on to the Bears.
All right, Peen.
So I did see something that Ryan Pace was calling Trent Williams' agent, I guess, to see about him. That would be a huge move for their offensive line.
Yeah,
I also still would kind of like to see them bring Kyle Long back, even if it's just on a cheap contract for the name. I mean, I don't know. I got a soft spot for him, I guess.
They're both old, but I told you that, it gets to the point where you just need good players.
Yeah, but if they can rework their line like that and then still be able to trade for Russ or Deshaun, that works for me. Cousin Peen,
right,
what do you got?
The one thing J-Rex said last week was how the Browns' offensive line was restructured 1 year. The Bears, if they could, restructure that line, which has never happened, then you'll have a little bit more leeway. But we're working on big offensive pieces at the moment.
I think you have some pretty good weapons, especially with Tariq Cohen back. You really need the quarterback. That's the issue. That's really the primary. You need offensive line and the quarterback. There were deals with them trading Khalil Mack, which I think is fucking
no chance.
Bad shit insane.
I think if we have to get rid of Allen Robinson within a trade, if we have to, I'm saying, and get Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, that's a win for the Bears. If you get a receiver in return, in my opinion, it's a win for the Bears. The Bears
a receiver in return.
Yes, the Bears haven't had a 4,000-yard quarterback in history. They just haven't had that good of a quarterback. To be able to have a player, even at the Baker Mayfield status, who's not even won a Super Bowl, would be insanity for the Bears. The Bears need some form of offensive structure. Trubisky just hasn't had that captain role. He's been very, I wouldn't say consistent, but he's He hasn't been
Trubisky
awful, but he's
learned as he played.
But he hasn't been
Yeah,
great.
he learned. He was young, man. He didn't play. Baker played they said Baker played 200 games or something ridiculous in college or something crazy.
Oh, between
So,
college and high school or something.
Yeah, played something ridiculous, 200 games. Mitch didn't play that many games, and he's from a Cleveland dude. So here's the thing, Cleveland's football is pretty competitive, but it's not the most competitive place like Texas is.
I mean, he played for Mentor, which is a very, very competitive high school football team.
Is it? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Cleveland high school football because I went to a high school football that was most incompetent in the state.
They're good now. They're good now too.
Yeah, no names, please.
No. They're good too now.
That's shocking.
Right?
Yeah. So, getting into
I hear the band and everything when they're playing because it's only a couple miles, not even a mile down the road.
Yeah, it's a couple blocks away. Yeah, because you're by the library and everything and the park. Yeah, it's a nice area. I know exactly where you're at. With that being said.
So yeah, the Bears though reworking some cap space like we were just talking about with the Browns. Right now they're sitting at $23 million, trying to rework some deals. Khalil Mack, I think.
Khalil Mack's a big keeper. I mean, the defense is set.
Yeah.
You just need to focus on offensive assets right now, and that's offensive line, wide receivers, and essentially a quarterback. If you have to get rid of Allen Robinson for a quarterback, I'm fine with it, honestly.
You don't have to do that.
I don't care though.
You don't have to.
I want a quarterback.
You don't have to do that.
I want a quarterback.
Listen, man.
Oh,
Cousin Peen.
Cousin
Peen. We all do. Listen, Cousin Peen. Have you seen the Browns jersey with all the names in the back? Okay.
Have you ever seen that?
Have you ever seen that, Cousin Peen?
I'm not sure.
The Browns jersey that has all the quarterback names on the back.
I don't think I've seen it
over the last 20 years.
That we've had for the last since 1999.
I'm sure it's just as ugly as the Bears, but
not
even close.
Not quite.
Not even close.
The Bears isn't quite as ugly.
It's not even close.
What do we have? Jim McMahon, 85,
and Sid Luck.
Whatever. That's it. That's it.
Right. Rex Grossman was the best quarterback in the league for 8 out of his 16 games in 2006.
I know, but
the other 8, he was the worst quarterback.
That was 15 years ago, cuz. That was 15 years ago, buddy. Thank you for showing me that we lost. I think it was to Peyton Manning's Colts team.
It was the Colts.
With
one time
Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy and Peyton Manning's Colts team, and we were talking about. We'll get into it later, I believe. Our Drew Brees.
Let me put it this way, dude. At least the Bears went to the Super Bowl and have won a Super Bowl. Okay,
I still wear my Hester jersey every game day, even from back then.
Ironically, I have a Hester jersey also. Hell yeah, cuz.
The Browns and the Bears are the two greatest kickoff returners at the same time.
He used to play
the two greatest kickoff returners of all time at the same time. They had both of them.
Hester and Cribbs. Nobody can forget them.
Do you remember the song "Walk It Out" by DJ Unk? That's what I remember. Devin Hester's anthem. Now walk it out. Now walk it out. That's all I think of Devin Hester when I think of that song.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's.
I'll have to send you a YouTube video.
So yeah, I don't know. For me, the Bears, they just need to find a quarterback.
Trade for. Hey, listen, I'd be happy with Derek Carr, Russell Wilson.
This offensive line.
Yeah. Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. Any three of those quarterbacks,
if they start unloading anything on the defensive end, if they unload Khalil Mack, it's a full rebuild. That's loud and clear.
Yeah, and Matt Nagy's not going to last after this year if they go to full rebuild.
No chance.
No chance.
They'll start a full rebuild from the ground up or the top down, whatever you want to say. Yeah.
Rebuild is so painful. All right, I hate it.
So painful. Let's talk about something that's not painful.
Not painful. Let's talk about something that alleviates our pain.
Yeah.
Pain relief.
Take it, Jay. What you got for us this week with your strain?
All right, so strain of the week this week is one of my all-time favorites. It's Memberberry by True Leaf. I think it's their best strain, hands down. They don't have a better strain because I don't particularly care for their stuff all that much. When the dispensaries first started opening up, they were pretty fire, but they've lost their way a little bit. But this one's always pretty good. So it's kind of a berry taste to it. It's real fresh, usually pretty decent-sized nugs. It's got like a greenish purple to it. I really dig it. Fruity. It's, pure hybrid. It's really good for any time of the day. And, I dig on that herb. So that's good. That's what I got for you. What you got cooking, my friend? Because I think you brought a little bit of something extra for us, my friend, this week with your
I
strain of the
did.
week.
So a couple weeks ago, was it last week?
I think it was last week. Yeah.
Was it last week? All right.
Yeah.
So last week, Jay's strain was Mac 1. And he told me that I would be so excited about it because it smells like my favorite strain of all time, Ice Princess.
To one of the top two.
So I was at my local dispensary, The Botanist in Wickliffe. I will shout out to them because they've been nothing but awesome. I was at the dispensary and I was looking through the menu and everything. And what do I see? Mac 1. So, of course, I had to try it because Jay said it was like my favorite strain of all time. I got the jar, I got into my car, I opened it, and oh man, I called you immediately, didn't I?
Right, yeah, you did.
I called you immediately and I just told you that it smelled like heaven and it reminded me exactly of it. Like you were spot on.
I know,
like
dude.
You have never been more spot on about anything ever.
Yep.
And
it tastes like Ice Princess.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It tastes like Ice Princess. The actual smoke is very fruity.
Yeah.
It's very good. Very, very good. Yeah, I got another strain if you want to hear about it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, go for it. What is this? What's this shit called?
So
what you got for us?
The other one that I got, that's not it. Hang on.
It's real professional of you.
Whatever. So the other one is called Dosey Face. All of these are from Clutch Cannabis. And I've really taken a liking to them because I was
Is that the Botanist?
It's all at the Botanist, Clutch Cannabis. That's where I got the Sherb head from last week, which is my first strain. So this week, though, I got the Mac 1 and I got the Dosey Face. Yeah. Now, the Dosey Face was the highest percentage of THC. It was like 30%.
What was it? 30, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the strongest out of all of them?
Absolutely.
Yeah, really?
Absolutely. For me, normally, I'm not a big fan of
THC whore,
going for the higher THC percentage.
Right.
But this one smacked. This Dosey Face smacked. So it Clutch Cannabis at the Botanist in Wickliffe. I will throw shout outs to all of them because all of it has been phenomenal.
Fire.
And then I got a shake like you were telling me like you get down there.
Yeah.
It was a shake of Citral Dream, all the shake, and honestly,
I saw
that's good too. I don't have any complaints.
I went and picked up some pre-ground. I got a quarter for $25, which is a crazy deal. Shout out to Grow Healthy.
That's double the deal I got, but hopefully Ohio gets there one day.
Yeah, so Grow Healthy is the place like right behind my house. So I was telling you, like, I pulled out of my house, and the time it took me to pull in, drive back, and come home and pick up my stuff, you know how long it took me?
How long?
13 minutes.
That's nothing. Nothing.
I literally took me 13 minutes to drive there, pick it up, drive back, and drive home.
That's nothing at all. All right, Cousin Peen, what are you smoking
what you got for?
So I got a couple cool things going on. Right now, I'm smoking on my cotton candy cartridge, actually, from Glow Extracts out of California. It's very tasty. I started giving you guys, let me get in on this right away so I could talk because this shit's just got so much flavor. But I gotta try this Mac. I gotta try this Mac 1 though. Mac 1 sounds really good. In addition to that, I'm smoking on some double Durban Kush. It's out of Sunnyside and Buffalo Grove. Just classic Durban kind of poison flavored weed. Really good. Really.
That's where my family lives. Buffalo
That's
Grove.
where I went. That's where I grew up. Welcome to my hood, buddy.
I wonder what ethnicity.
I wonder if you were a part of our old bowling days back in the day, back at our local bowling alley.
Right. Right.
All right. cousin Peen reminded me earlier before the show of the first time that him and I smoked together. Cousin Peen, go ahead, man. It's a good story. No?
No, you don't want to say it?
It's a different story. It's a completely different story. It's a stoner moment. It was a story with my dad and I, how I first smoked for the first time, and I was talking to my dad about it to you. So it's a little miscommunication
Okay.
of my first time smoking.
My bad.
It's good. It's all good. A little stoner moment by a little both of us, but it's all good.
Yeah, stoner moment for
But
both
the first
of us.
time, can you tell us the first time we
Yes,
smoked? Because I would love to know the first time we smoked while we're on the topic. I don't.
The first time we smoked
It
together.
might have been in my mom's area or
So
something in Buffalo Grove, but I'm not sure.
do you remember the first
I
time we smoked
don't. I
together?
honestly
now?
don't.
All right, I do. All right, so me and my ex had just moved to Wisconsin,
Kenosha.
and the only place that I knew where to find bud at, everywhere I ever go, I find bud. No matter what country, no matter what city, it doesn't matter where. So, all right, so we moved. I found some guy in the parking lot of like a McDonald's or something, and that's who I was getting my bud from. And I was talking to you, and you told me that you can get me like real fire shit. And at this point, you were still in high school.
Yeah, it was.
And you drove up with your friend
Bend Easy. Bend Easy.
Yeah, yep. You guys drove up, and we all smoked, and you brought me some bud, and then from that point on, we used to drive down to you and pick up and stuff. But yeah. And,
Wait, he had the plug in high school? Good
I
for
started
you.
smoking at 15. I was talking to my dad about the first time I started smoking today, which was in his garage, which he was like, whoa, I wish I would have knew that type of thing, which is what I was trying to tell the first thing I talked about today when I got home from work. So there was that miscommunication. But I love it. I love to hear it. I love to hear the stories. Glad I was able to plug you, Kaza.
Yeah, it was great, man.
Yeah, no, it was good times, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Good
let's
times,
get
man.
into a little bit of music. So
Sure.
I would say it's our concert of the week, but this week we're actually gonna do something different for everybody. We're gonna make two special playlists on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't yet, go check it out. It's Bongs, Browns, Bears. You can find it on YouTube. We're gonna do first, Jay is gonna make a 10-track list of Johnny Cash live songs, and then I am going to make a B Weird's favorite blues list, which will also be 10 tracks. Let you guys, get to know us a little bit better
Yeah,
on
man.
the tracks we pick.
I'm a big Johnny Cash fan. I love the movie Walk the Line. It's
Uh,
like I don't even like country music at all because
I love
like
Johnny
not
Cash
so.
though.
Yeah, but I love Johnny Cash, man. So
Yeah, I'm
that'll be
excited for
dope.
that though, because I don't know what tracks you're gonna pick. You got no idea what I'm gonna pick, so it's a
No, I
surprise
don't
for
honestly,
everybody.
cuz I don't even know what I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna look around and
Exactly.
throw some shit up for y'all. Like
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
don't fucking know.
be 10 hits from both of us and two separate playlists on our YouTube page. So come check those out. Let's talk some March Madness.
Yeah, it's getting a little interesting now, isn't it?
All right, so we'll bring in our assistant to the regional managers, our college basketball professional, cousin
Dun
Peen.
dun dun dun.
I like your little intro there. Go ahead.
Yeah, we need. I need to figure out how to do hotkeys. I need to figure it out. That's the next thing I'm gonna do.
What's happening, March
Hotkeys.
Madness?
That was such a stoner moment. My hotkeys.
Why?
A couple shows ago when you said
Oh
hotkeys, I
yeah,
was like, "What the fuck
hotkeys.
are you
Yeah,
talking about?"
yeah.
Dun
Oh
dun dun
yeah.
Yeah.
dun.
I need to figure out. I forgot about that stoner moment.
Oh,
Whoops.
speaking of that, cousin Peen, what were you saying you use for your cigars that Jay uses for
The
his bud?
Bovida.
You said, yeah.
Bovita.
Bovida. Yeah,
Bovita.
they're
Whatever
pretty
it is.
much packs that are humidifiers that go well in mason jars. They actually come in pre-packed cigarillos now. You can find them almost anywhere, any cigar shop, any tobacco shop.
Yeah. Well, they also make them specifically for Bud. If you go onto their website and buy them,
it's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying he's
I've been using them for a
them.
minute.
All right, so
dude. I got one of those in the
to,
pre-ground. I got the pre-ground in a mason jar with one
yeah.
of those bad boys in there. It smells beautiful in that jar.
It's a great humidity enhancer right there.
Oh yeah. All right, March Madness. Cousin Peen.
My final four.
Who you got?
I'm going balls deep. First big pick I'm taking is Iona. Iona's got the 15th seed. Rick Pitino. I'm going with Rick Pitino with his discipline in New York, saying he's going to take his team to the Final Four, and I believe him for some reason. I'm taking them over Michigan in the Elite Eight, which is a big pick for taking out a number 1 seed.
Where do you buy your weed again, man?
Honestly, I can't knock that though. Rick Pitino's a great coach.
He's back, baby.
I know.
He's back.
Iona's
Let me see. You have to win 2. You have to win 3. You have to win 4 games to get to the Final Four. I think Rick Pitino's got it.
All right.
My what region is it? The West region. I'm taking Kansas over Gonzaga in the Elite Eight to put them in the Final Four, which will bring them to the semifinal in that side of the bracket. On the other side of the bracket, we got the South and the Midwest regions. In the South, I'm taking Villanova in the Final Four. I got Villanova beating Texas Tech in the Elite Eight with Mac McClung and his Texas Tech Big 12 team. And I do have, unfortunately for you guys, Texas Tech beating Ohio State in the Sweet 16. So unfortunately for you, Cleveland people, that was my initial pick. Going into the Midwest region, I got Illinois in my Final Four, who will be in the championship against Kansas. Illinois will be beating West Virginia in the Elite Eight. I think that's going to be actually a really good game if that comes down to that, or even Houston game. It could be a Houston Illinois game or a West Virginia Illinois game. I take the Big 12 pretty deep in most of my brackets this year. They're pretty strong.
I think we disagree with you on that part.
So I got Illinois, Villanova, Kansas, and Iona. My Final Four with Kansas winning the whole thing, if healthy. Because there's David McCormick on Kansas, who I'm back and forth with if he's healthy or not, and COVID and all this and that. So it comes down to health at the end of the day. If you have a healthy team, you have a good shot at winning it all. If your one player goes down, then you're screwed. So if Kansas is not healthy, Illinois is destined to win it all. I think there's no chance. But that's just
so. I agree with you on the Big 10 part. I just don't agree with you on the Big 12 part.
All right, Jay, who you got?
So I got Michigan for Skip right there in the Final Four.
I can't believe you did it after giving me shit for it.
I know. I don't see anyone beating them in their bracket. I just don't. They're a good team, and I don't think Juwan Howard's going to let it happen.
I can see them losing to 2 different teams in that bracket. But
I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either. But
yeah, I don't think anyone's going to beat Gonzaga in their bracket. I don't think anyone's going to beat Ohio State in their bracket, and I don't think anyone's going to beat Illinois in their bracket. So that's I went Ohio State, Gonzaga, Michigan, Illinois, and that's my Final Four. And I just Iowa lost, I think, in one of the first rounds of the Big Ten tournament to Ohio State. I just don't think I don't have Iowa going very far. Virginia is basically MIA right now, and I think they're going to lose to Ohio. So I think you can see a big upset there. I think Texas is a really, really, really good team, and I think they're going to beat Alabama, who a lot of people are high on. I have a big upset there. I think they play Michigan. I just don't think Texas is going to beat Michigan. I just don't.
Yeah, Texas and Alabama are the only 2 teams that I think could, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. And I think the problem is that doesn't Alabama play Texas before they get to Michigan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just doesn't.
Potentially,
Fuck you, Skip. Honestly. Ugh. I have to wash my mouth out with soap after
All right, so
this.
who do you got winning it all?
I'm going to take Gonzaga. I'm going to take Gonzaga over Illinois. I think it's Gonzaga's year. I took Gonzaga to win the whole thing. I think they break through this year. They're this year's Villanova, a couple of years back. Illinois is probably one of the best college basketball teams I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm an Ohio State fan, and I just don't think Ohio State necessarily has gas in the tank to get past Illinois. They went into double overtime, I think, this week, right?
No, just regular overtime.
Regular overtime,
Yeah,
okay.
and
I knew they had
a great game.
Yeah, but they had to like come back a huge lead to like come back against, and like they barely did it.
They were down, I think, like 30 something to 17 or 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I walked away. I don't remember what I went to go do, but I walked away for like 5 minutes. I came back, and it was like 35-42.
Right. Yeah. And I just don't see it happening again, them coming back like that against Illinois. Not to be a pessimist, but that being said, I would love to see it happen. That's what I hope happens. And I'm good on that note. I think that's where the subtlety changes, and I'll pass it back to you.
All right. Well, as you'll be the pessimist, I will forever be the optimist. And I think that OSU and Illinois will have a third matchup this year in the Final Four from the South and the Midwest divisions, whatever.
Regions.
Let me dive in a little bit deeper. The regions. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right. I think we both think they're going to play each other in the Final Four.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're going to have a third matchup. I do think Ohio State will win that matchup to go on to the championship game. Let me break down who I got, and I got some upsets that are some teams that I think we should all be watching. Definitely be watching for Creighton. I think that they could knock off Gonzaga.
They could.
I never like a team going into the tournament undefeated. That's why I don't have Gonzaga in my championship Final Four. I mean, I never like.
I don't disagree with you, man, but I just think they're overdue. I just think that sometime you're just on a mission and you just get overdue, and it's just like you have one mind and you need to do it, and this is where you're going, and nothing's going to stop you. And I just think Gonzaga is the team of destiny right now.
I agree with that. I have Gonzaga playing Ohio State in my championship game and winning.
Got to win 6 games in a row, though.
So
it's tough.
Yeah, I mean,
who do you have Gonzaga beating in the Final Four?
All right, so I have Gonzaga beating Creighton. I think that would be a great game. I think also in the West there, I got Kansas and Iowa, which I also think will be a good game.
I have that too. Weird.
I got Kansas beating them, going on and playing Gonzaga.
Got the same Elite Eight.
I do think Gonzaga will take them though.
Yeah, me too.
Down in the East, I got Georgetown going all the way to the Sweet 16.
It's a good pick with Patrick Ewing
against. Yep, I'm pumped for them.
Yeah.
I think Georgetown will go up against Michigan. Michigan will take them. I got Texas and Alabama both kind of running through that bottom half of the bracket. I think Texas and Alabama will be one of the best games of the entire
tournament.
If
Iona loses to Alabama, I agree 100% with you, B-Weird, that may be one of the best games in the tournament is the Texas-Iowa game.
Yeah.
Texas
to Alabama.
I think Texas is going to be Alabama, though, and that's what I have the difference as,
Yeah, so I got Alabama potentially winning that game, then going on against Michigan beating them. I do have 3 Big Ten teams in my Final Four.
Yep.
In the Midwest, I have Illinois beating Tennessee to go on to the Elite Eight. I have Houston beating West Virginia. That could also be a great game. I also do think that Loyola, who cousin Peen shouted out a couple weeks ago, in Illinois, could potentially be a big upset.
They could play each other, which is crazy for Chicago fans.
Yeah, and I think that Loyola could beat them, which is even crazier.
I agree.
It's just going to be madness.
If that happens, that's
a
huge bracket buster.
But didn't Michigan State one year and Duke and North Carolina? Yeah, but didn't Michigan State, Duke, North Carolina? They were all number 1 seeds and they all lost in the first or the second round, and everyone hooped all over the place. I remember that.
It's very rare that a bracket plays out like I have my bracket and yours for that matter, playing out with 3 number 1 seeds and a number 2. I
Yeah.
did do a second bracket if you guys are interested in hearing that Final Four.
Sure, let's hear that Final Four. Let's hear the
All
alternative.
right. Just the Final Four you want to hear?
Yeah, just do the Final Four.
All
We
right.
don't have to go through all the minutia and the.
All right. So I got Creighton,
Right.
Alabama,
Okay.
Baylor,
Right.
Loyola,
Okay.
with Baylor versus
love it.
Alabama and Baylor
I
winning
love
it
it.
all.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. A lot of people are very high on Baylor. I just don't like. I don't know, man. I just don't take Baylor.
I
that
think Baylor
seriously.
could lose at any second. They're fragile, but at the same time, their Big
Yeah,
12
super
is
fragile, but they're also
the Big 12
super
is too
good.
deep.
Yeah, they're
Big
soft,
12,
man.
I don't think they're as soft as you think.
They're
That
soft.
conference is so deep, and they've won so many games against so many good teams in so many tough places. That's where I think Illinois is so deep. They've won big. That's what made them the one seed. They've won big games and big conference play that really made the big difference. Like if Ohio State would have beat them at any given time, they would have, had that, borderline one seed. I think that big conference play championship, Big Ten championship are
That's why I
staples.
think
They're staples.
Ohio State can knock Baylor off, because Ohio State has shown how resilient they are all year.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, dude. They took Illinois to the Met, man.
That's
They
why
fucking
I
went the
really
distance.
think they're gonna have that third Met.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have
I can
fun
see
making
that.
2 or 3
All right.
brackets this year for sure. This is my my one go-to
Right.
bracket, but I gotta mess around. We
Well,
all
bet
gotta
money
mess
on it.
around a little
So,
bit.
Everything is so wide open this year too. Like,
Some
it's
people are
crazy.
against making multiple brackets. I think that this year that it's so much we got to take it for granted. You should just make as many as possible. If you could make 10 brackets, make 10 brackets. Just be involved. Get involved in the
I'll be
madness.
honest, the ESPN tournament challenge, you can make 25. I will most likely
Hell
make
yeah,
25.
Gus.
Just throwing
Love
it
it.
out there.
That's madness. It's in its own, and I love it.
It's madness.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. Let's get into something that we've been having fun with the last few weeks.
Right.
Our album playoffs. Some crazy shit. Johnny Cash totally walked the line and walked it all over Bob Dylan.
Boots and all, man.
Yeah, Johnny Cash, I Walk the Line, beat Highway 61 Revisited by a blowout of 13-2.
11 votes. That's the biggest blowout we've had.
Now, let me say something here. Just like last week, where I'm a huge fan of M and Dre, I'm a huge fan of Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan. But this kind of blowout 2 weeks in a row is crazy to me.
Dude, you lost 2 weeks. So basically, you barely beat me twice, okay?
Yeah, and then I got blown out.
Then we tied.
And then I got blown out. But at least I didn't care that I got blown out by the people I got blown out by. Like, if you would have gotten blown out by Rumors, you might have cried.
I don't know if I would have cried. I don't know if I cared that much. I just don't like Fleetwood Mac. But
yeah, so that was a huge blowout.
Yeah. So
that was tied for our biggest turnout, I think, with 15 votes. Yeah. So okay.
We're gonna have to do 2 polls on Twitter. You're gonna have to post one of the semifinal polls, and I'll have to post the other because we have to pin them to the pages. We'll work out the logistics. Everyone doesn't need to hear about it. But look out for the new poll. Pee Wee's Twitter page and my Twitter page.
First two semifinal matchups. The first one will be Rumors versus the Bends. Fleetwood Mac versus Radiohead. The second is 2 different worlds totally colliding. The Marshall Mathers LP versus Johnny Cash, I Walk the Line. I'm excited to see where that one goes.
So this is interesting. I feel like they're both the same type of archetype, like person, type of musician in different eras. Each representation 100%. Would be in their respective eras. That's kind of how I feel about it. You know what I
like
mean?
that 100%.
Yeah. So
and then in the
there's a little philosophical jazz for y'all.
The losers bracket, we got 2 matchups. Both of them are going to be 3 albums versus each other.
Right.
So the first one is going to be Zeppelin 4 versus Under the Table and Dreaming versus the Joshua Tree, which is actually your 3 losers.
All right.
And then the second matchup will be Songs from the Big Chair, The Chronic 2001, and Highway 61 Revisited, which are my three losers. I'm interested to see how these all turn out.
Okay, so these are just going to have to be on Discord. We'll just post since they're losers,
Well,
they'll just be on Discord.
So the losers ones, yeah, we can just put those on Discord.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah.
Or we can even put those up the next week because they're just. Oh no, the next week we got to put the final up.
No. We'll just
put those up on Discord.
in Discord. Yeah.
If anybody else wants to vote on those, get at us. You know how by now.
Direct DM, direct message us, whatever.
If you don't know how to get at us by now, we will remind you at the end of the show. It will be my pleasure.
Right.
Okay. All right, so let's get into something that we are very excited about happening on Friday. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Jay, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, so basically I'm really excited to see who's going to take up the mantle of Captain America, how they're going to do that. Because it's either going to be Sam or, the Winter Soldier Bucky Barnes. But Captain America kind of gave it to Sam, so I don't know if it is going to be Sam or if it's going to be Bucky. I've seen versions where both of them become Captain America. I've seen it. So
my money's on Sam.
Right.
Just based off of honestly that's just based off of the previews that I've seen.
Yeah.
And to that extent, I almost think that they're trying to mislead us. So I'm going to go with Bucky. I'm changing my mind.
All right.
I'm going with Bucky.
All right. So then I'll go with Sam, and then we'll just go like that.
Sounds good. I like it.
All right. So Zemo, I guess, is going to be the villain, right? That creepy guy, the Nazi from Inglourious Bastards is back as Zemo, right?
Yeah, he'll be one of them. And then the other one is some kind of anti-capitalist terrorist group.
Okay.
They're gonna be what really unites Bucky and Sam to make them work together, because that's another part of the show, the big aspect of it. A world where where both of them are trying to live in a world without their best friend and how to work with each other in those circumstances.
Yeah.
To basically clean up where Endgame left off, really.
Yeah. Yep. And you know what's crazy about it? It's Steve was their guiding light. Steve was always their the person to show them the way. Yep. Steve's gone. Right. Steve ain't around anymore.
So now they're trying to they gotta figure out life again.
Yeah.
As somebody who's lost a best friend, that you do have to relearn how to live life again, kind of.
Yeah, man. For sure. All right. Well,
not saying I'm an Avenger or anything, but
we won't tell anyone your secret identity.
Right.
All right.
I could be.
It's exciting though. I mean, I'm pumped to see it. It's gonna be. There's a lot of stuff coming out.
Especially after WandaVision. I'm so excited for anything Marvel right now.
Yeah. Oh, I've been binge watching everything Marvel, which I rewatched Captain Marvel, and she gets her power from the Tesseract, which is a whole theory about whether or not they're going to rebuild the Infinity Stones with people who have had intimate interactions with the Infinity Stone, to be Peter Quill do the power, or Doctor Strange would do the time.
Yeah,
she would do the Tesseract.
Like I was saying on our Discord, we were talking about it with some people. I'm gonna probably rewatch all of the movies in order or whatever pretty soon.
Yeah, Mrs. Rex.
As soon as I finish The Sopranos, I'm on the last season already.
So I watched Captain Marvel, Ragnarok, and Civil War this weekend.
Nice.
So that's what I watched.
That's a good line.
It was good. It was good. I enjoyed all of it.
All right. Bring us into this, because I know you've been waiting. You said it last week. You've been waiting forever.
Yeah. So the Snyder Cut is dropping on Thursday, and it drops at 2 a.m.
Hold up. Rewind. Say that with more excitement, because I know damn well you're excited.
I'm also been smoking, so I'm not I'm not in that place.
Try it one more time. Come on.
The Snyder Cut is getting released on Thursday.
There it is.
All right. No, the Snyder Cut's getting released on Thursday. No, I mean, I'm really excited for it. It's getting great reviews, really good reviews. Everyone's saying it's basically the quintessential comic book movie.
Yeah, I mean, from the sounds of it, 4 hours long, dark, and everything that a DC movie should be.
Yeah. They say that it doesn't even feel like 4 hours. It goes by really quickly, they say.
And
it's entertaining.
We can watch it in the comfort of our own house.
Yeah.
So
So you're not sitting in a movie theater for 4 hours.
You can pause it and go take a piss if you want.
If they don't let him make more movies after this, they're ridiculous.
Well, DC is very ridiculous in many ways, but yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
They should have just done this movie to begin with and just. All right.
All right, let's get into some NFL free agency stuff.
Yeah,
and
let's talk about some free agency stuff.
A couple other sports topics I want to dive into real quick first.
Yeah.
Marvin Hagler passed away today, one of the best boxers of all time. Jay?
Yeah, no, I mean,
you're another big boxing fan.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it. I feel like if I grew up in like an era where Muhammad Ali was like active, I would be like way more into boxing than I am. There's not really much boxing. Mayweather, Pacquiao, it's boring. Like, I mean, I watched the last fight I watched was Mayweather Pacquiao. Spent fucking $50 to get into some shithole bar to sit there and watch them go like 12 rounds, just like jabbing at each other.
I will say that you are missing out because the other thing that I want to talk about with boxing, Tyson Fury, world boxing champion, and Anthony Joshua, he holds another 3 heavyweight belts.
Right.
They signed a 2-fight deal to unify the heavyweight titles. The first fight, they split 50-50. The second fight, the winner takes 60-40. That will finally unify all the heavyweight championships.
Right.
And honestly, both of them are great boxers. Like,
yeah, I mean,
both great, honestly.
We should have unified belts anyways. I think it's kind of ridiculous they're not like unified right now. I mean, it only helps the sport. I mean, man, I don't think since like Mike Tyson, like, you know, the sport just like, I remember Tyson as a kid growing up, man. I remember the Evander Holyfield fight. Don't you remember that shit?
Yeah.
You know, everything. So, I mean, just like, it's so hard for me to get into boxing now, though. I just struggle with it, man.
Well, for a while, there wasn't any, like, real good standout boxers besides, like, Manny Pacquiao and
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather. And to me, Floyd Mayweather was too defensive of a boxer for me to really get into.
Yeah.
That said,
he had the most boring matches I've ever seen.
My favorite.
If you haven't watched boxing in a while,
I love
you
Floyd.
Like a boring boxer, cousin Pete.
Right.
I love Floyd.
Of course you do.
I mean, I love Floyd, but I obviously love Tyson. It's not obvious, but you guys don't know that. I love Tyson too. I love Tyson a lot too. I like Tyson.
I like him too.
Ali, Tyson, and Mayweather. Mayweather is probably my favorite, but those are my top 3 favorite boxers.
There's only one boxer who's my favorite.
Rocky's my favorite too, but he doesn't count.
He doesn't count. It's Muhammad Ali's my only favorite boxer.
All right, so Muhammad Ali is your favorite. You just said Floyd
Ali's a goat, yours, but right? Yes, Floyd is my favorite. Well, they've fought in different weight classes. I mean, Ali was a heavyweight. Floyd was like a lightweight. So it's like, he actually fought in 3 different divisions, I think, too. But I still would take Ali.
Well, my favorite boxer actually is Roy Jones Jr., who covers all of your weight classes. But that said, behind him,
he's in like the boxing games, man. I played in college. He's you always fight. Yeah, he's in every one.
Best is a middleweight, but that's just my personal opinion.
All right.
Behind him, though, Ali and Mike Tyson.
I think Ali is a great segue into our next person. Another one of the GOATs.
Go ahead.
In football, who's actually my favorite non-Browns or Bears player of all time in the modern era. Retired this week after a 20-year football career. Won me many fantasy football games, and that would be Drew Brees. Mad respect to him. He was class act always until he made like a couple of off-color comments recently because he's a schmuck. But he apologized. Anyways, I love Drew Brees. He's a great player. Sad he only got 1 title. I always like the Saints.
Where would you put him in your top quarterbacks? Like top 10, top 15?
Yeah,
I'd say top 10.
Like top 10. Top 10.
All time. I mean,
top 10.
I mean, he holds like the number 1 record for 3 or 4 of the most,
his stats are back and forth with Brady besides championships, pretty much. Like, when it comes down to a bunch of wins and games and whatever.
It's because they fucked up a couple of things. They pulled Jimmy Graham out from underneath him. They had a thing going. They should never have done that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You never had a good running back.
I don't know. There's a lot of factors.
Him
No, yeah.
and Sean Payton had a really good run.
Yeah.
We'll see now if Sean Payton can do it without
Reggie
Drew
Bush was good,
Brees.
actually. I take that back.
Yeah, kind
Who
of.
else
Yeah,
was
Reggie
good?
Bush was good, and
McAllister.
they had other
I mean, they
backs.
weren't crazy back in the day, but
They had some backs, man. You don't remember. They had some good backs.
Yeah, we'll see if Sean Payton can do it though with Taysom Hill.
Signed him a massive fucking contract.
So they signed him to like a 4-year, $140 million deal that they can pick up next year, right?
Right.
Okay, so this year they're essentially just paying him a signing bonus.
Right.
And I think that they're expecting Jameis Winston to also sign with them. And if not, they'll probably sign somebody else still to compete anyway.
Right.
Personally, I don't see it with Taysom Hill.
I don't see it with Jameis Winston
No,
either.
I mean, definitely not with either one of them, really.
I think they both suck.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna have to draft.
They're in deep shit, man.
They're
They're
gonna
in
have to
deep shit.
maybe even trade up to draft a quarterback.
Yeah,
Honestly,
man. They're fucked, man. They're real fucked.
well, I
Them
mean,
and Pittsburgh
really,
are
what they're
screwed.
doing is they're taking the chance this year on Taysom Hill and whoever else, and they'll probably sign whoever else to a 1-year deal. And then next year they'll see where they are, and they'll replay it. Honestly,
I don't like the play. I think it's weak.
Well, here's a play that's not weak. Joe Thuney, guard center, signs with the Chiefs, 5-year, $80 million deal.
They did another one of those bullshits where they did a signing bonus with him too. By the way,
Yep, and they've been restructuring contracts all day to make it happen.
And they cut the 2 tackles last week to make room for him.
Yep.
So
like last week we said that that's a big issue for the Chiefs. Yeah. This week they've addressed part of that issue.
Listen, it takes, as I can tell you as a Browns fan, Patrick Mahomes or not, it takes 5 strong men on that line to block for your quarterback. You're still missing other pieces to their line. They don't have tackles. That's arguably more important than guards. Tell me who your offensive tackles are, please. And it's not an offensive tackle draft, by the way. That was last year. The Browns got in on an offensive tackle in the draft at exactly the right time.
I can't disagree with you there.
All right. Well, I hope they fucking tank. I hate the Chiefs. Fuck you, Chiefs.
I mean, I like the Chiefs, but I do see them as the Browns' real competition.
They're enemy number one,
forward.
man. They're enemy number one, man.
They are. Absolutely.
It's not anything personal. It's just like you got to be the best. You got to beat the best.
Exactly.
And that's just how I feel, and I feel like the Chiefs are public enemy number one.
Sorry, if you want to quote Ric Flair, I got to woo.
Right. Yeah. Right. Shout out to everyone on the Discord server. All right.
The Packers lost their center today, Corey Linsley. He's going to the Chargers on a projected 4-year deal. That helps Khalil Mack and the Bears a bit. They still need to address their offense, but the defense got a little pick-me-up thanks to the Packers. What do you think, guys?
Aaron Rodgers is fucked, man. Who the hell? They had problems playing the Bucks with a.
I think they're the team that never ever has to worry for some reason. Like they're gonna end up replacing that player immediately.
Isn't that the fucking truth? Man. It's like they got a fucking clover leaf in their pocket.
I think they'll find. I think that's just how they roll. I hate to say it.
First off, I felt. Let me say this. First off, I thought the same way about the Steelers, and look where we are with the Steelers.
Yeah, no. Eventually, all roads must come to an end.
Yeah,
that is a
they're
fact.
Toast. They're toast, man.
And I think that the Packers are on their way
that
end.
Yeah,
this is just one of those steps. I think that if they lose, what the fuck's their running back's name? I'm blanking.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, if they lose Aaron Jones in the offseason, that would be another big loss for them. That would be great.
I hope they do. I hope they lose everybody.
Yeah.
Their defense is garbage.
Yeah. That said, a team that shored up their offense and defense.
Holy shit.
The Bucks. They managed to somehow re-sign Shaq Barrett, Levante David, Gronk signed
Chris
for a
Godwin.
1-year deal. Chris Godwin got franchise tag. Brady restructured his deal for like 2 more years.
And did the signing cap, the
Yeah,
signing bonus shit to the cap.
yeah.
Again.
So
Again.
everybody, I'm calling it now. Look out for
Run it back. They're running it back. Man.
Look out for the fucking. I was gonna say the Pats. Look out for the
I
Bucks.
think they might run it back.
They are the
and
I think
are
with
the
TB
Pats.
coming back, yeah.
That said, though, my mistake here does lead into my next team, which is the Patriots. That made a huge.
Oh, by the way,
today. Yeah,
Browns, Bucks, Super Bowl.
It's a great Super Bowl. I like it.
Year, probably.
You calling that right now?
I'm saying that's what I think. I think we'll see who they sign if they can get an edge rusher. If they do sign like a really good edge rusher on the Browns, I'll call my shot. I will.
Okay. All right.
I'll call it.
I will call mine whenever you call yours.
Okay.
I might stand by
we'll
that.
Talk about
I
it
might stand by that with you guys and
right.
call that as well, just because I like it. It sounds pretty beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Browns, Bucks is so deserving.
Chiefs
are get the Chiefs out of get the Chiefs out of the picture. You don't have to worry about the Saints in the playoffs.
Nah, man, the Chiefs are done, man. The Buccaneers showed the whole world how to beat the Chiefs.
They're beatable.
That's what the Buccaneers did.
So here's somebody who took notice that we've actually been giving a lot of shit to lately is Bill Belichick.
Yeah, we have been giving a lot of shit to Bill.
The Patriots
he deserves it, though. He's a dick.
Yeah, absolutely. The Patriots, though, made a big dent in their cap space today on day one. They had like $70 million to spend or something.
Yeah, they spent a ridiculous amount of money.
They spent a ton of money today trying to make their defense elite again.
On paper, they certainly accomplished it.
Yeah, they signed Matthew Judon, the defensive end from the Ravens, Jalen Mills at cornerback, defensive tackle Devon Godot from the Dolphins. I think I said that right. It's French. They also
right. Godot. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, they also have Deontay Hightower and Patrick Chung coming back next year, who opted out last year. That's a huge upgrade. Deontay Hightower is their best defensive player. They also signed Jonnu Smith, who I'm a big fan of from Tennessee, and Nelson Aguilar, who, if he can turn it on, he's a big target.
He needs to catch the ball. That's his problem.
I don't know where they're going to go with quarterback. You guys,
they re-signed Cam.
Did they re-sign him?
They re-signed Cam. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know they re-signed him yet.
No, they re-signed.
Yeah,
Cam.
they re-signed him.
Back with Cam. Man.
I've just been writing. I've been writing for us. I haven't been able to see everything.
Yeah. They re-signed Cam. No, they did that a couple days ago. They re-signed Cam.
Okay. I'm just an idiot. Stoner moment. I missed it.
No, so Cam is throwing to Aguilar and they signed.
I saw something earlier. Cam was rated third best on running plays and 27th, I think, on passing plays.
Who was this?
Cam. So, getting him some targets, I think that helps. Honestly, I think the Patriots.
I don't know. I mean, let's see how much his arm looks like. Let's see how his arm looks.
I think the Patriots at least make the playoffs next year.
They're in a harder division they've ever been in before.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that today they went over Miami again.
I like
obviously
Tua
the
better
Jets are garbage.
Yeah, garbage. Yeah, I like Tua better than I like Cam Newton at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think just based on the defense alone, like they got the defensive tackle from Miami. Miami also lost somebody else a couple days ago.
Miami didn't sign anyone today, did they?
No. So that's why I really think that just based on today alone, New England now moved into that second spot.
I can see it. I can see it. You know, man, and the Ravens only got Zeitler. That's the only person they picked up today.
And they lost their defensive end.
Yeah,
so
they lost everything. They lost a whole bunch of people. They lost someone in the secondary. They lost a bunch of people today. Speaking of people who lost a bunch of people, the Rams are getting completely picked apart.
Yeah. So this is something that I am very, very passionate about.
All right, so why don't you get into it?
I and Skip have had many conversations about how good he thinks the Rams are going to be this year. And I tried to tell him, and I hope that when he hears the show, he pays damn good attention. The Rams are starting to lose their defensive players. You can't win when you go based on an elite defense without the elite defense. They've lost.
Matt Stafford isn't going to make that big of a difference to fix your
Right.
defense.
He's not a big upgrade to Jared Goff when your defense is being downgraded left and right.
You needed first-round draft picks
they've
this year to go and
lost.
get people in the secondary to replace the people they lost.
They've now lost one of the best safeties in the league. They've lost an edge rusher in Samson Ubukum. I think I said that right. To a rival team in the Niners who had 9 sacks within the last 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
That's a huge part for the other side of Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
That's a huge loss.
Right, yeah.
Like their defense is not going to be the same, which to me, if the Bears can make the right pickups on their defense, which is only like 1 or 2 pieces to replace like Adrian Amos and stuff at safety, I think the Bears can retake having the best defense in the NFC.
Well, that Harrison guy who plays for the Vikings, that would be nice to come and swoop him, take him away.
That would be a great pickup for the Bears to shore up their defense and be the best in the NFC again.
Everyone needs to be like the Browns and do what the Browns do.
It's a blueprint. It's what the Chiefs did.
Yep, that's what the Chiefs did. It's what the Browns are doing.
And we're just doing it a little bit better, I think, even.
We are. Yeah, we are.
Either of you got any closing notes to wrap up our NFL stuff?
What was I going to say? Yeah, no, I mean, Russell Wilson must not be long for the Seahawks because they did not sign a goddamn offensive lineman today, and they have cap space.
Yeah,
that's what I don't.
They've got to be looking at trading him. They've got.
That's the only way, man. Because if they didn't sign an offensive lineman today, God help Pete Carroll on that team because he's going to be livid, I'm sure.
Yep. I mean, he's not the type of player to sit out a season, but if he doesn't want to, I'll be damned.
Yeah, he might. He might, dude. He might. I wouldn't hold it. I wouldn't hold it against him. They've done nothing for him, man.
No,
they've done him no favors.
You're absolutely right. I honestly would expect a draft day trade of Russell Wilson to Chicago because if not, there's at least 5 people who are out of a job next year.
Yeah.
Between the Seahawks and the Bears organizations, there's at least 5 or 6 people without a job next year if they don't make that trade on draft day.
Pete Carroll's a douchebag anyways. I hate fucking Pete Carroll. I always have.
Well, I don't know. Whatever. I
don't like Pete Carroll.
I don't mind.
I spit that venom. I know their AG. I know the AG from USC, and he's a family friend. Like his like relatives, a family friend, and Pete Carroll did some dirty things on the way out at USC, and I don't particularly care for him. Yeah, he did. So, Pete Carroll's a scumbag. So,
all right.
Not trying to slander him or anything like that. I just know someone who had unfortunate dealings with him.
Yeah, that's fair. Like that's fair. That's like how I feel about LeBron James.
Yep. All right,
cousin Peen. Any closing words? I like it.
I dig it. It's simple.
Thank you for coming on, cousin.
Let's get
Peen,
some offense.
Let's
get some offense, baby. That's what I have to say about the free agency for the NFL. Come on now.
Let's trade for fucking Russell Wilson and sign a defensive end.
Thanks again, gentlemen, for having me on the show. Right, always a pleasure. Glad I was able to get in.
Always.
Glad to have you, cuz. Discord server up and running. Come find us, join, ask us questions, chat with us. We're talking about everything on there, like literally everything. Subscribe.
People post pictures of their pets.
Yeah, we got pets, food, weed, whatever
Marvel, music,
life, everything. Liberty, literally like everything is on there. Like just a cool place to come chat, get away from all the bullshit, whatever. Subscribe on YouTube, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, TuneIn. You find us on Twitter. I am at B_weird1. Jay is at Atrocitus Rex. It is ATROCITUSREX. National Suicide Prevention Hotline 1-800-273-8255. National Addiction Hotline 1-800-662-4357. Don't be afraid to reach out. This year has been really fucking long for everybody. Hopefully things are getting back to normal now or soon.
I think they're starting to get that way.
Yeah, but don't be afraid to reach out if you need help, everybody. And even if you need to reach out to one of us, find us on Discord. I
Get
will
the
talk
vaccine,
to you.
everybody.
That said, everybody have a good week. Thank you for listening. We will get at you guys next week. Thanks, everybody.
Later.